Hi, I'm Keith. Man, I have heard a lot of things about governors and about how to take off a governor, take it out, how to disconnect it, how to connect your linkage up. Nobody talks about revs. That's really the problem, and that's what destroys your engine. If the engine is starting to over rev, back down a little bit and you won't have a problem. Flywheels will take the revs. Actually, there's three springs, or two springs and a rod that you need to take out to disconnect your governor. And whether it's in your engine or you took it out of the engine, after it's disconnected, it's not going to make a difference. So if you take that off, if you take this spring off, and if you take that spring off, your governor is now disconnected. Your engine does not have a working governor. So that's what you need to do if you want to get any higher revs. If you don't, then leave it in. The engine will reach a certain point, it's going to run smooth. You probably do 25 miles an hour. If you want to take it out, I want to show you the right way to take it out and what to do about your linkage. Coat hanger and a pair of needle nose pliers. Make sure it's kind of straight. You cut about that much of it right out. Okay? When you get that, there we go. That's what you end up with. A piece like that. Let's get rid of this coat hanger now. Okay. One of these ends is going to fit down into that throttle linkage. So, and it's a tight fit. So make sure that there aren't any real burrs on the end here. What we have to do is put a little bend in it. So you get hold of the end of it like that. You see that? Get a hold of the end of it. Just bend it about 90 degrees. Okay? So you end up with something that looks like that. And then you're going to have to go measure it. Put this into the throttle, and then you measure how far you have to go before you make the next bend. You can use a Sharpie if you want to. I just did it by, I put it in there and then I took my needle nose and clamped down where I needed it and bent it again. So there's two places that you can do it. One's on top. This is the one I ended up with for the top. This fits into the throttle. This hooks onto the arm. And then there's one that fits under the arm. And that one looks a little bit different. Looks like that. Okay. Alright, so here's what I did about hooking up my linkage. This is a plate that came standard on my Predator 212. It has a little bracket back here with a screw in it that you can unscrew and stick your cable casing in up to about that far. Let the cable hang out like this, up to there, and then you screw it down to secure it so that the casing won't move. Then you run the wire, the cable itself, into this little thing right there. There's a screw on top that you unscrew, put the cable through, and then screw it down to secure it. And that's hooked onto this arm. So when you go to press on the pedal, then it pulls it like that. If you have a mini bike, same way. Right here is where you put your cable casing on that one, and you run it through this little screw back here. And then when you go to throttle up, it'll pull it like that. Okay, you got your return spring right here. You've got this adjustment right here so that if you want to adjust how fast it can go or how much it can throttle up, you can push that screw in. You can only accelerate so far as that can go. Okay? So you have a high-end adjustment right there. See that? Alright, now, the next problem is connecting it up to the carburetor. So here you have, on the arm, you got a couple holes right there. And your carburetor is right down here. There's one that fits under the arm.